So, good morning, everyone. As I promised, I am now going to give you a guided tour of an online assessment tool, a website actually. So it's called Flexiquiz. So let's go. We are going to use our browser. I'm using Chrome. You can use other browsers. You can use Safari if you are on the Mac, or you can use the Edge, the Microsoft Edge, I think it's called. It's the new Microsoft Chrome-like web browser. But please, just don't use Internet Explorer. I don't even know if there is still Internet Explorer. But anyway, so let's go to the FlexiQuiz website. As you can see, I've already been there. So type in flexiquiz.com and let's go. All right. So now, this is the splash page of FlexiQuiz. You can learn a lot about FlexiQuiz using this part here. In fact, let me show you the plans that they have. Okay? And one of the reasons why I chose this to show you is that it's actually possible to use this. It's not 100% easy because there are some limitations, but there is a free tier to this. Okay, and for $20 a month, you can go up to premium, which basically removes most of the limitations of the free account. In fact, if you have the money, I would recommend you know going to the premium account if you can convince the powers that be to help you with the payment. uh, I don't know if they're going to help you with that, but it would be nice if you could do this. And the enterprise is really overkill. This is for like big companies and all that. We just need the premium. Now, if you don't have the premium, you can use the free thing, okay? And the important thing about this is, look, you can make as many quizzes as you want. That's no problem. Now, here's the problem. You can only have 10 questions per quiz. Now, most of our exams are more than 10 questions, right? So this is a problem, but there is a workaround to this. I will show you later on. We can have 50, 60 item exams. We just need to do a little bit more work, but it can be done. But this is the more important thing, 20 responses per quiz. So if you have more than 20 students that have to take an exam, this will be a problem. Only 20 people can take the exam. And there's another workaround for this. I think you can already imagine it. You just have to make another exam that is a copy of the original exam, and if you need 50 students to answer a quiz, you probably have to make 3 identical quizzes because 3 times 20 is 60, right? So you can understand that there are 7 different question types. You can automatically calculate, score, grade your exams only if you don't have essay portions. If you have essay portions, you will have to manually grade them yourselves, all right? So, and we have all of these things, all of these other things, which are good. Okay, so let's move on. Now, if you want to sign up, you just have to click on the sign up button, and all you have to do is provide an email. So, put it there, and then put in your first name and then last name. It doesn't have to be your real name. And then you choose a password, okay? And then sign up for free, and you are going to get an account. So I've already signed up for this because I've already used this before. So let's log in. So here, Chrome has helpfully remembered my account details. So I'm just going to log in. And now we are inside the website. So we are in the dashboard. Okay, so the dashboard is like the control panel of the website. You can use this to change the contents of the website. So as you can see here, these are folders. These are not quizzes yet. These are I created folders. Basically, I use this to represent subjects. So maybe you teach biology 1, biology 2, environmental science, physics 1. These are actually subjects that I've taught in the past. Weirdly, there is a politics 101. I'll explain later why. All right. So you can put in different kinds of exams into this. As you can see, most of these don't have anything inside them yet, but we can put in an exam. Okay. Now, let me just show you some of the other parts of the website. So if you go to the upper part here, we have the dashboard. That's where we are. Now you can go to the users tab. As you can see here, I am the only user of this account. I have the administrator, meaning I can make exams and all that. Now, there's a feature here, add user. If you try to add user, you can actually use this to add other teachers so that you can collaborate with them. So you can add another administrator or a trainer, which is kind of like a different level of an administrator, not a student, but a trainer. But look, if I try to add an administrator here, what does it say? I have to upgrade to add additional administrators and trainers. So it's not available on the free plan. We can't do that. So another enticement for you to pay them, because it's actually very useful if you had this option. And how about groups? We can create groups. Again, you can create groups that correspond to your different subjects, and that can be very useful. But look, if I try to do this, it's not available on the free plan. But don't worry, it doesn't really matter that we can't do that. We can still distribute our exams to our students, no problem. Okay, we'll just have to use a different mode of distribution, probably Edmodo or Google Class. Okay, so that's users. If you go to the reports, this is where you can see all the answers or the results of the exams that you have made and have been answered by students. When they submit their exams, you can see the results. So if I say, I want to see all the quizzes, then you can see, hey, I have a quiz called Biology 1 Pop Quiz. One person has answered it and got 100%. And then I have another current events quiz. 7 people have answered it, and 64% is the average score, and so on. Right? There are so many things that you can do. You can look at the users. These are just pretend users that I have, that I put in, just for fun. So there. You can make reports that you can actually save onto Excel files, so that when you are transferring the grades, you don't have to do it manually. You can just generate a report and then copy and paste the grades onto the grading sheets that you have. At least that's what I understand you are going to do. And then lastly, settings. So as you can see, settings, you can adjust a lot of things about your account, the name, the the time zone, all that, right? That's not very interesting. So now let's go to the actual making of the exam. All right, let's go back to the dashboard and let's make a test. So look at the big blue button here. It says create quiz. What do you think that does? Of course, it will create a quiz. So let's create a quiz. First thing that will pop out is, oh, you have to enter the name. So let's say we are going to make a quiz for Biology 2. Okay, so let's name it Biology 2. Oops, sorry, 2 pop quiz. There. So let's say create quiz. Okay, so now we are in the making the test parts, right? As you can see, you have the quiz is Biology 2 Pop Quiz, and the status, it is in design, meaning it is still being designed. Nobody can access this yet. Okay, so let's try to make a question here, all right? Let's click on the Add Item button, and as you can see here, there are 4 options that we can choose. We have this question bank. I think you have the idea of a question bank already. It's a um, series of questions already prepared that you can just draw from. Now, this would be nice, but look, oh, we have to pay for this. It's not available on the free plan. So that's another reason why you can be tempted to pay for the premium plan. But anyway, uh, that can't be done. Now, import questions. If you have previous exams that you want to put in to Flexiquiz, you can do it. All you have to do is turn the exam into a format that can be read by Flexiquiz, and it will be uploaded. I think it's an Excel file, like a CSV format. But look, also not a free plan inclusion. So we can't do that. All we can do is to manually put in our questions. Now, there's also here, this one here, text or media. Now, if we want to add something at the start of our exam before the actual questions, we can put that in, right? So as you can see here, let me click the more. You can put in so many things. Now, you can also use this in the actual questions. So for example, you can add a link, right, to a website that you have on the internet. So you can just copy the URL here and then name whatever you want, and then that will appear as a link in the exam. Or you can make a student watch a YouTube video. You can paste the URL here and then make adjustments whatever you want, and then it will appear again as a an actual video that the student can manipulate, that they can play the video, and then you can ask questions about the video. Now, one concern by teachers, like math teachers, is the mathematics. They have a lot of equations. So they're asking, how are we going to input that into an online assessment tool when the keyboards are not really designed to, put in the different kinds of equation symbols, like maybe this square root symbol, or maybe I don't know, the Greek letters that are often used with mathematical equations. You can actually do that here. See, look, this is what you type in, and this will be the output. It says here they're using this text language, and I don't know if you're familiar with this. So this is a notation that you can use to put in certain formulas. For example, if you want to, put in like this, you can do this. I'm not quite familiar with how this is done, but if you're a math teacher, you're either familiar with this already, or it's in your interest to learn how to write like this. See? Oh, see, look, if you want to put in the summation symbol, you can just type, what is this, backslash sum, and then all these other things. So I think this is, just like any other notation formula. You just have to remember all the different um, symbols. Okay, anyway, let's go back. So it can be done. If you're a math teacher and you're wondering, how am I going to write the formulas? You can, right? There. Okay, so we're not going to do that. We're going to add questions. So if we say, you select the questions, as you can see, it's still the same here. See? You can see, you can put in a math equation symbol here. There, it's still there. You can put in a table. You can put in a YouTube video. Okay? But this is what we are more interested with. There are several question types that we can choose. As you can see here, you have single choice, multiple choice, picture choice, fill in the blanks, matching text, free text, file upload. I think the last one is not available to free users. Anyway, this is not really that applicable to us. This is when a student will have to upload a file to the actual test. So probably not something that we will do. So let's just try to make some questions here. Okay, I'll show you. Let's say I want to choose this first one. All right, and I'm going to say the question is this: all of the following, right, are similarities between unicellular and multicellular organisms, except one. Which is it? All right. I'm sorry about my slow typing. I never really learned how to touch type, so I'm doing the hunt and peck method. But anyway, that's the question, and we are going to have 4 options for that. By the way, you don't have to put in a number here, like number 1. That's actually not a good idea. We are going to randomize the question order, and the program will provide the numbers for us. So don't put a number there. And then just remember, in multiple choice, you are going to make the first option as the correct option, because anyway, we are just going to randomize the options also. So let's see, length of lifespan. That's the correct answer. And then let's put in the others here. Let's see. Ecological relationships. And then we can add an option here. So we can say division of labor. And another one, so that it's 4 of them. We have internal complexity there. And then we check the randomized option. Now, by the way, set option points. This is applicable when you have other possible points for the items. For example, hey, maybe the first item is 5 points, the second is 3 points, the third is 2 points, the last one is 1 point only, right? You can have that. So now, let me uncheck that, because this is only for 1 point. As you can see here, we can actually adjust that. You can make it, so many different kinds of points. All right, so let's just make it 1 point. So this is the correct item, and then it will randomize it. So now we can say save it, but then that will put us back to the exam page. Let's just save and add another. Okay, as you can see at the back, this is our question here, right? It's already done. We can add another question. So let's say, let's make this true or false question, right? So let's say a group of organisms that can reproduce with each other and produce fertile offspring is called a community. All right, and then we're going to say false, because it is false, that is a species, and true there. And then we're just going to get rid of the other options, and again randomize and all that. Now, by the way, you have the option to show question feedback, but as we discussed before, we don't really want to tell them what is the correct answer. It just gives them more options to cheat. Not that they would, but some people do. So let's save that. As you can see here in the back, that's the question, and we are going to add in another question. Maybe we can make 5 questions. So let's see. Let's make a fill in the blanks, right? So let's say during, look at the syntax there. If you want the blank, put it in brackets and just put a letter. You can have A, B, C as the different blanks. Let's just have one blank here. During blank of the cell cycle, the chromosomes are invisible. There. So now we put in the correct answer, interface. Now, by the way, I checked this and it's case sensitive. So if the student answers with capital I, interface, if we only put in small letter I, interface, it's going to mark it as wrong. So we have to put in the synonyms. So we can say put in the interface with the capital letter. All right, and then because interface is also known as the resting stage. I just misspelled interface there. Okay, resting stage again. Maybe what if capital R? Resting stage. And then you can understand how you can also put in other kinds of variations of the answer. So we are going to save that and make another one. All right, so maybe let's make what else can we make here? Okay, let's make a free text. All right, so this is the essay question. Explain why excessive exercise leads or can lead to cramps. There. And then they're going to be provided a text box that they can type in the answer. We can make it as small or as big as we want. So let's adjust this to maybe 4, right? And then save that. Okay. So, where is it saving? I'm not sure. Let me, okay, there. So let's just add another one. Let's say I want to show them a YouTube video, okay? I'm going to go to YouTube and just pick a random video here. It doesn't really matter. What the? Okay, there, whatever. Oh, I don't know what this is, but okay. Copy the URL and then put that URL here, right? And then let's see, show player control. You can actually adjust where it starts. So maybe it's a long video. You only want them to start at the 30-minute mark. You can put in the actual time code. Now, show suggested videos. No, 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 no. That's just going to distract the students. So there. So if you click OK, now they can see the video. They can play it, and then you can put in some, question. The question here. See, maybe the question is summarize. Sorry, summarize the video in, let's say, 100 characters or less. There. And then let's say 5, and then let's save. Okay, so now, hey, we actually added an excess question here. So let's just delete this. Okay, so now we have this. We can add 5 more, but we're just going to do 5 because it's a demo. Now the next part is you can do configure, or you can go back to dashboard, because there's another feature here. So here is our quiz. Let's say we can put it in the biology 2 folder, so that we can find it there. So if we open this, oh, there. This is a previous quiz that I've done before. So let's say I want to see what it looks like to my student. I can preview it, right? So here, this is what they will see. Now you can see the questions are all in one page, which we said we shouldn't do. We can use this preview part to see if there are some problems with the questions, maybe misspellings, things like that. If it's okay, we can go back to the dashboard, right? So let's go back to the dashboard. Sorry, not the. We can just go back to the quiz again. And now we can configure it. Now, this is a very important part of this process. If you check or uncheck a particular part, it might mess up the exam. So be careful with this. So for example, this is the quiz name. You can change it. And then the display, this is what the students can see on the exam as they are answering it. So you can put in a progress bar, so they are notified how far they have come into the exam. Maybe page number, it doesn't really matter. Now the logo, if we try to put in a logo, you have to pay for that. Maybe if Ateneo wants its logo on the exam, they will pay for the Flexiquiz plan. But anyway, allow save and continue later. Oh, no, 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 no. This is not a good idea, because then a student can just open the quiz, look at the question, and then, close the exam and then look for the answer, right? They can spend an entire day looking for the exam. The timer will not run on the exam because they are allowed to save and continue later. So we are going to uncheck that. Now the time limit, like we said, the time pressure is important. So it's a short exam or quiz. So let's just say 20 minutes, but let's remember to follow the syntax. So 20 minutes there. Page time limits, you can set a time limit for each page, but I think that's too much already. You can just uncheck that. Or if you want to be, evil, you can add a time limit for each page. It's up to you. Now, this one, of course, we want to randomize all the questions, right? Every student will have a different order of the questions. And this is the reason why I said don't put a number at the questions, because we are going to auto-number the questions. And remember, only one question per page. Okay? 1. Maximum quiz attempts. This is probably a good number, 1. If you want to be more lenient, you can add, whatever you want, but I think one is a good thing. Use browser attempts tracker. This is really only good if your number here is more than one, because it's going to track the students trying to answer the quiz from different devices. You can actually see where they're answering it. Now, this is important. You redirect on quiz completion. Now, the URL is not available to us. It's a paid part of the website. But this is the important one, quiz. We can actually redirect them to another quiz. Okay, for example, if you want to make a 50-item quiz, and we have the limitation of the 10 items per quiz, you can just separate the 50 items into 5 parts, each part having 10 questions, and just redirect them. So maybe this quiz is the first part, and then redirect them to the next one, right? So let's redirect them to this, current events. And then you can set a schedule when the quiz or the test will be open and closed, right? This used to work for me. When I tried this before, you can actually set, like, okay, I'm going to give this on June, let's say, 25 to, say, June 28, right? So right now, it's not open. When we publish the quiz, it will not open until this particular date and time. Right? That's a useful thing. If you finish the exam way ahead of schedule, you can just put in this schedule, and the website will do it for you. But there's a problem with this. I don't know if they've fixed it already. Maybe we have to go back and uncheck this later. We'll just have to see. Okay, we can just keep this as is. Question layout, navigation bar position, there. Now, this is one of the biggest sources of cheating. Allow edit commands. They are not going to be able to cut the questions. They will not copy. They certainly will not be able to paste. The right mouse click menu will not work for them. They cannot print the exam because, again, it's obvious that can be used for cheating. Uncheck all of that. All right? And then allow previous page navigations. Remember, don't allow backtracking. Once you have answered number 1, you have to answer number 2, and then number 3 and number 4. You cannot go back to number 1 if you are on number 7. All right. And then this one, confirm before submit and confirm before close browser tab. Of course, when they try to close the browser, if they do it accidentally, they are going to be prompted. Are you sure? Because they might do it accidentally. And if we don't check this, some students might have that problem. And then submit. What if the student accidentally clicks on the submit button, even if they are not finished yet? So just put that check in there. All right, so that's the general part. Now the grading, this is very simple. We just have to, I think it's still 60%, right? The passing. I don't know if they've changed it, but apparently in other parts of the world, it's 70%. Okay, and then results. This is what the students will see when they finish the exam or the question, like this: show answers during quiz. If you want them to see the answer, the correct answer after they have answered a question, check this. But that's not a good idea. Let's try to minimize the response, the feedback to students. Uncheck that. Now you can check any of these. Doesn't really matter. We're not going to show them the results. The most important part is this. Don't check any of this, because it will show them so much information that they can pass on to other students. And then, because we are having redirected quizzes, we can show redirected quiz results. But since we uncheck this, they're not even going to see that anyway. So that's it. The certificate, notification, theme, and sell, uh, it's not going to be available to us. By the way, the sell part, if you pay for the service and you are good at making quizzes, you can actually sell your quizzes to other people. So that's one of the uh, benefits of having a paid account. But we can't do that. Anyway, now that we are done with that, we are ready to publish. So right now, the quiz status is InDesign, right? When we click on this, let's see if we see an error message. Oh, there it is. To publish this quiz now, please first unselect the schedule option. Okay, it's still there. The bug is still there. So apparently they haven't fixed that. We have to uncheck the schedule. So now you have to manually open and close the exam. So for example, we are not going to publish it right now. If we want to publish it on June 25, we have to wait. But for the purpose of this demo, we're going to publish it. Okay, so now, as you can see, it's open. Anybody with access to this exam can answer it. Now, how will they access it? We are going to use quiz link. Remember, we cannot use groups, right? So we are going to use quiz link. Okay. Now, how about this? Register for quiz. We can customize the fields that they will see that they have to fill in. So, for example, you have these fields. They will put in their first name, last name, email address, whatever. Now, you can add other fields, like maybe you want them to put in their subject. Maybe you want them to put in their section, whatever you want, then that's it. So this, if you copy this, you can paste this onto any way that you can disseminate this quiz. Probably on Edmodo and Google Class, right? Or if you have another way to disseminate this, anything. By the way, if you go back to the dashboard, you can look at the quiz again, and there's the preview. Remember, so now you can see the time remaining. It's 20 minutes. It's counting down, and you can see only one question per page, right? So this is the number one. They have to answer that. They go to the next page. There is no button for going back. Okay, they can only go forward, so they can answer that, blah blah blah. Excuse me, and so on. All right. So there, they can still play this there. All right. So we can close this and go back to the quiz. Okay, so again, going back to the publish, let's copy this. So let's pretend that we are one of the students and we have seen this link. What they will do is they will click on it, and it will take them to the quiz. So now you see they have to put in their information. So let me just put in information here. Let's say not me anymore. Okay. There. Whatever. And then subject, biology 2, section, I don't know, section A. And then register. Now they are taking the exam. Okay, so let's say this is our answer, internal complexity. That would be wrong. And then true or false, we say it's true. It's also wrong. And then it's an essay type. Next page, again, essay type. Next page. And then let's say metaphase. All right, submit. As you can see, um, there is the prompt. Are you sure you want to submit? Oh, by the way, let's try to close the exam. Okay, let's say we accidentally pressed on the close. Okay, so here, leave site, changes you made may not be saved. So they have to cancel that. And then submit again. Let's submit. And now they are going to be taken to the next quiz. And this next quiz is something that I did, just for fun. I was watching this video and I said, let me make a small quiz on this, so they can, watch the video. Okay, not too much. That's not good for your health. And then they can answer the questions, right? Who's speaking in the video? Ooh, I don't know. And let's answer this. I'm sorry if you're a DDS, but I don't care. The president is unable. And then that's true. Very, very true. And then summarize the speech. How would you summarize a typical speech? Well, we are going to hear a lot of this, right? There's going to be a lot of incoherent ramblings, and there will be a guest appearance of people and so on, things like that. Submit. There you go. Now we are finished with the exam. Now, if you wanted to redirect them to another quiz, you can do so. You just have to set the redirect option. All right, so we can close this now. And if we go back to the Flexiquiz, we can actually check. Let me see. Nope. Let's go to the dashboard and go back to that pop quiz. You can look at the analyze button and see, look, somebody took the exam and got 0 out of 3, which is a failing score. Remember, there were 2 essay questions, so only 3 items were graded. You have to go to the exam if you want to check the, what you call this, the essay portion. All right, so let's see. Oh, this is an individual report. Okay, now you can also go to the reports and you can look at the the results. So hey, how many people have answered the biology 2 pop quiz? There. Okay, biology 1 pop quiz there, and current events pop quiz. Okay, there. Right, you can generate a CSV version of this report so that you can use it to transfer the scores on on your grade sheets. So like this, you can just copy and then paste on the appropriate grading sheet. All right, I think that's the end of our guided tour of Flexiquiz, right? I hope this gives you some idea of how to use this website, and thank you for your time.